Hi, I'm Brett Kelley, and this is a snapshot brought to you by the National Civil War Museum. I'm standing here on the field of the Spotsylvania Courthouse battlefield. The area that I'm in is the west side of the Mule Shoe salient. On May 10th, 1864, Colonel Emory Upton of the 121st New York went to his Corps commander and suggested something a little crazy. He suggested that with several picked regiments that he could attack the side of the Confederate entrenchments, which were right behind me, about 100 yards distance. And he figured he could punch a hole in that line, and if successful, reinforcements could be brought in and they could basically take out the Confederate Army. That was the plan. So around 6 o'clock in the evening on May 10th, 1864, Colonel Upton had 12 regiments massed just on this side of the woods, and they were going to basically charge right up to the Confederates, take out that first line of Confederate defenses, and then head for the second line and third, and eventually basically take the Confederates and hopefully cause a major blow to General Lee's army. Initially, it was very successful. They ran as fast as they could with uncapped muskets, meaning they hadn't put the percussion caps on their muskets, so they wouldn't be able to fire in advance. They wanted to save that one shot that each soldier had for when they were right up on the Confederates. They fixed bayonets and they charged at Colonel Upton's word. They moved forward and they jumped over the first line of Confederate defenses. They captured 900 prisoners and quickly sent them to the rear. They basically from there went into hand-to-hand combat. It was brutal. The men in these 12 regiments fought like the devil. Their very lives depended on it, obviously. Unfortunately for them, the reinforcements that were promised never came. They held it for as long as they could. They said, they had gotten orders to withdraw, to retreat. They sent back word. They said, send us rations and we can hold this line all year. So they were very determined not to give up what they had just taken. Unfortunately, after about an hour of this, they were low on ammunition. They were basically just getting killed out there. So they had no choice. Eventually, by the time General Grant had heard about this and said, send in reinforcements as quick as you can, by the time the reinforcements were organized and heading this way, those men in Upton's command were done. They had to head back. They had to retreat, or they would have been captured. The Confederates were pouring in troops. So it was a gallant effort, a tremendous effort. And when General Grant heard about it later, he said, well, if a brigade can do this, we'll see what a whole corps can do. And he said, set for May 12th, a large-scale attack on the Mule Shoe salient at the tip of it. And that came a couple of days later. But General Upton, for his efforts, he was promoted on the spot to Brigadier General. And he was well thought of as a tremendous officer, and people had great thoughts of him. His future seemed very bright, and he continued on throughout the Civil War, fighting with great courage, setting policy, writing manuals, doing everything that your ideal officer should do. So the men were very proud of him, and they were very proud of their actions on this very spot. Thanks again. The history here is, you can just feel it, and it's wonderful. I hope to see you at the museum.